So far, Brexiteers have often written in the comments since Thursday that the UK won and the EU lost with the deal. Let's go over that in a moment. Some parts are already known. But I'm just wondering where the hundreds of Brexiteers are who wrote in my comments every day that we voted for a no deal in 2016. A deal is betraying Brexit. Where did they all go? They haven't shown up since Thursday. Interesting, isn't it? But let's get started with the topic at hand. Brexit remains a Brexit, even with the trade agreements. But the deal is supposed to dampen the consequences. Not a very hard break, but also not a soft landing. The trade agreement is intended to cushion the consequences of the British exit from the EU and from the EU internal market and the customs union. But there is still an exit. Cooperation is limited to a minimum. And let's just get to some questions and answers about it. What about the free movement of people? Is there a removal of border checks? No, this is only available for members. Are there pet passports? No, this also is only available for members. Is there a visa-free travel beyond 19 days? No, this is also only available for members. There is only a visa-free travel for 90 days in a 180-day period like other third countries, with some small add-ons for business through this deal other third countries don't have. Is there a right to work, study and live in another EU country? That's very limited. The deal gives a little more than other third countries have, but not as much as for members. What about the removal of roaming charges? No, that's also only available for members. But what will trade look like in the future? What about frictionless trade? Real frictionless trade is only available for members, so it's a no either. What about zero tariffs or quotas, zero customs formalities, zero SPS checks and zero rules of origin procedures? Companies have to deal with significantly more formalities. The pact does not impose any tariffs on British goods in the future, but British exporters have to prove that their products are mostly made in their own country and they comply with EU food safety rules and product standards. The British government, however, only wants to gradually demand appropriate evidence and carry out controls. Will the UK still benefit from the EU's international agreements? No, of course not. This is only available for members. What about services? Access to the European internal market will also become much more difficult for the service industry. Here, the conditions of equivalence are decisive. The EU will be friendlier toward these because of the deal, but that is still at their discretion. And that can always be withdrawn within a month. Free access to services is only available to members. And I already could read parts of the deal this morning, and it says there's the most favored nation clause in effect for services, and that means the UK will get the best treatment another third country will get. So not a second, but a third country. But I'll get to the deal much later. It's 1200 something pages, 1246 I guess at the moment. What about financial services passport? No, that is only available for members. What about easy recognition of professional qualifications? No, that's only available for members. What about fishing? Although fishing is of little economic importance, it was the most difficult issue to solve. Control over one's own waters is a symbol to London. Even so, Great Britain made major concessions. European fishermen initially only have to forego a quarter of their catch quotas, and that over a period of 5.5 years. Should London later restrict their access further, Brussels could respond with tariffs. What about air transport? What about single aviation area and full freedom? Nope, that once again is only available for members. The contract gives bilateral fifth freedoms for extra EU air cargo and somewhat limited flight rights. And I can just say now, of course, in another video I will in the next days talk about more of these parts. The EU made a nice summary, but I want to talk about the claims that the EU will break down because the UK got all the membership benefits without being a member, and I already guess I've shown you that's not the case, but I'll continue. What about road transport? What about the single internal transport market for hauliers? Nope, that as well is only available only for members. What about cross-trade operations? On road transport, EU and UK hauliers will be able to carry cargo to and from any point of the other party's territory, provided they meet agreed high standards on safety and working conditions. They will also be able to perform 2 extra operations within the other party's territory, of which maximum 1 cabotage operation for UK hauliers, thus limited the risk of having to travel back without a load. The agreement also provides for full transit rights, for example the right for Irish hauliers to cross the UK to reach the rest of the EU. What about energy? What about the single internal energy market? Nope, that is only available for members. What about energy trading platforms? Over the years, UK and EU energy markets have become deeply interlinked thanks to interconnectors, that's electricity cable and gas pipelines, built between them. Although the UK will no longer benefit from single market rights, the EU-UK agreement will facilitate continuous flows of energy, essential to the functioning of both economies, by putting in place new trading arrangements over interconnectors. It also establishes an ambitious framework for cooperation on renewable energy and tackling climate change, and including a provision that would trigger the suspension of the agreement if either side breaches its commitment to the Paris Agreement on Climate. A separate agreement also provides for wide-ranging cooperation on the safe and peaceful use of nuclear energy. Will Brexit endanger peace in Northern Ireland? The risk of having to introduce border controls between Northern Ireland, which belongs to the United Kingdom, and the EU member state Ireland was actually already averted in the exit agreement. In the event, a resurgence of the Northern Ireland conflict was expected. After being questioned in the meantime, London gave in again. Northern Ireland was given a special status and remained more closely linked to the EU than the rest of the kingdom. What does the deal mean for police and judicial cooperation? Here both sides stay relatively close together. The cooperation of the British authorities with Europol and Eurojust is to continue. But London can no longer help shape the rules for these EU agencies. Great Britain no longer has access to the Schengen information system with its search data, but it does have access to EU passenger data storage, vehicle registration data, or the EU criminal record. The exchange of secret information should also continue to work together in the event of health risks. And what about EU programs? Will the UK have access to Erasmus? Well, first of all, the answer was no, it's only available to members, but there are rumors at the moment that the EU will give access for students from the UK. We will see how that works out. Will the UK have access to Next Generation EU Assure? Nope, that's only available for members. Will the UK have Galileo encrypted military signals? Nope, this is only available for members. And of course there are more, I just wanted to show some examples there, because the UK will only take part in 5 EU programs. Those are Horizon Europe, that's research and innovation. This is Euratom Research and Training Program ITER, Fusion Test Facility. That's Copernicus, the Earth Monitoring System, and the access to EU satellite surveillance and tracking, the SST services. But which areas are not regulated in the Brexit Trade Pact? The subject of foreign and security policy was excluded from the negotiations at London's request. There will no longer be a coordinated response to foreign policy challenges, and this applies to sanctions against third countries, for example. The automatic recognition of professional qualifications is also no longer necessary. Doctors, engineers and architects and many other professional groups will in future have to prove their qualifications according to the rules of the individual countries. The deal is of course better than an exit without a deal. That would really have been a catastrophe. And that means better for both sides than a no deal. But of course it's not as good as the previous deal, the membership. Some Brexit problems were resolved with this arrangement, but some remain. In the next few days, I will also publish a little more detail on the contents of the contract. As I said, the EU has already published some summaries The deal itself is not yet online, where it's supposed to come online when everything is finished, when I'm filming this video, but I could see it on another website of the EU, at least the version they sent to the EU 27. They have to agree on before this can continue and can be activated provisionally. And if you want to stay informed, please subscribe to my channel, also to my other channels. I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.